The first installment of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's highly anticipated Netflix documentary has arrived, and with the second part of the series only one day away, celebrities have already started reacting to the royal controversy. In fact, the new trailer has already brought about a fresh wave of criticism, as it looks like the Sussexes are going to launch an outright attack on William and Kate. As a result, a laundry list of stars have condemned the series, and it seems like there's certainly going to be more to come. So let's take a look at the top 10 celebrities speaking out against Meghan and Harry's Netflix documentary. Number 10, Howard Stern. The radio host slammed the couple and labeled them as whiny B-words after he said that he had to sit through the painful first 3 episodes of their Netflix series. Stern said, "I wouldn't watch it, but my wife wants to watch it. You know, we have shows we watch, but they come off like such whiny B-words. I gotta tell you, man, I just don't get it." He went on to say that he understands that Prince Harry is angry at the monarchy for what happened with his mother. Then he says, "But Jesus Christ, when those two start whining about where and they don't like me, and Meghan wants to be beloved in this country, but man oh man, it's like the Kardashians except boring." Stern then brought up the privacy issue and said, "It's just weird to watch two people who keep screaming, 'We want our privacy. We wanted the press to leave us alone.' And then what is there special that they put out on Netflix showing you them and their kids and their life?" Funnily enough, this is one of the main criticisms that the couple seem to be getting. So much so that they have now had to release a statement through their press secretary saying that they never wanted privacy in the first place, claiming that very narrative was intended to trap them into silence. So apparently, their decision to step back never had anything to do with wanting to be out of the spotlight. Number 9, Kathy Griffin. The comedian made it clear that she was not exactly impressed by the way Meghan and Harry described the way they met in the new Netflix series. Kathy said, "They met on freaking Instagram. Prince Harry was just flipping through Instagram looking for a hot brunette like every other guy in LA." Then she said something pretty shocking. She jokingly compared Harry to Armie Hammer, who has recently been embroiled in allegations. Kathy said, "I'm disappointed. I thought this was going to be a great love story. Prince Harry's like Armie freaking Hammer. What if Prince Harry's the new House of Hammer?" Although she insisted that she wasn't trashing the couple, only questioning them, she went on to criticize their attitude and the British monarchy altogether. Kathy thinks that the Sussexes are acting like they can do so much good in the world, but went on to ask, when's the last time a royal did anything that helped the world? Quote, "Meghan kinda acts like she was never on Deal or No Deal. And when I say she kinda acts like, I mean they don't acknowledge it at all, which is hilarious to me. You don't think it's funny when Meghan acts like she doesn't know what hair and makeup is?" So obviously she wasn't buying Meghan's claim that she had no guidance whatsoever when she entered the royal family. Number 8, Sharon Osbourne. Following the release of the latest trailer for the second part of their Netflix docuseries, the former talk show host lashed out at Harry and Meghan, telling them to move on and get a life. Sharon appeared on Piers Morgan Uncensored, where she weighed in on their controversial new project, saying, "It was all very distasteful, Piers. I was totally bored by the whining. The whining. It is just so horribly disrespectful and just a whine fest. I mean, is the book going to be the same thing? Are there going to be no positive points?" Sharon even went on to accuse the couple of having a deal with Netflix before they stepped down from royal duties. She said, "And that whole thing of him filming himself on the Freedom Flight, they must have had that deal with Netflix done months before they ever left. So the whole thing was a setup. Unless you had a deal, why would you have done that? Filming yourself on the plane and all of that, doing a video diary." Sharon felt that the series was a good opportunity for them to talk about their charity, but instead they chose to focus on how mistreated they were by the public, the press, and the royal family. She summed it all up by saying, "And do you know what? You have a great life. You have a beautiful family, and you are so much in love. Move on, get a life, and move on." Number 7, Bethenny Frankel. The Real Housewives of New York City star posted a TikTok review of the controversial new series after the first 3 episodes dropped on December the 8th. She said, "It didn't hold my attention. It seemed like they really wanted to be humanized. They wanted us to know that they are real human beings. We believe that you are really in love, and we believe that you're really human beings." Frankel went on to claim that Meghan just wanted to hang out with major celebrities and gain notoriety from the famous family, and that was the real motivation behind her moving to California. She said, "I feel like this entire documentary was about how famous we are. It was relentless. If you are being trolled by the media, the royal family gave you the advice to say nothing because that's the advice that most very famous people are given. If you add gasoline to a fire, the fire blows up even bigger. It felt like Meghan in particular just kept wanting to tell us more. The reality star felt that the show was a major cash grab and something that Meghan and Harry decided to do because they were already causing chaos by leaving the family. Frankel also said they really wanted to push the Princess Diana aspect, the comparison, and I feel like it achieves the opposite result because Diana was there 5, 6, 7 times longer than Meghan and entered the monarchy when she was just 19. It's just not the same comparison. Number 6, Piers Morgan. Not long after Netflix released the second trailer, the presenter fired a series of tweets launching a new attack on Harry and Meghan. He wrote, "King Charles needs to strip these 2 poisonous rats of all remaining titles and ties to the royal family, and needs to do it fast before they destroy the monarchy." Piers also targeted Netflix directly after they promoted the second part of the series. He wrote, "It's not a global event, it's a weekly trashing of their families." He then made another post saying, "Imagine being the royal family, still grieving the loss of your great matriarch just a few weeks ago, and now having to endure 2 relatives who deserted the royal duty and Britain for riches in America, publicly trashing you as racist and liars after a week. It's so disgusting." Earlier this week, Piers also compared the series to Keeping Up with the Kardashians and labeled it boring. But by far the point that he's taken the most issue with was that Meghan was compared to Princess Diana, which he called sickening and said, "Having known both women, I can say with absolute certainty they have nothing in common whatsoever." What he's talking about is the moment that Harry said, "So much of what Meghan is and how she is so similar to my mom. She has the same compassion, the same empathy. She has the same confidence. She has this warmth about her." And later on he says, "The pain and suffering of women marrying into this institution, this feeding frenzy, I was terrified and I didn't want history to repeat itself." Number 5, Megyn Kelly. The former Fox News presenter appeared on GB News and criticized Meghan Markle in particular for her apparent history of lies. Kelly compared the narrative of the documentary to Meghan's past statements and said, "Look at how she lied about the cast of The Lion King, who allegedly said that when she married Harry, they celebrated in South Africa like they did when Mandela was freed. And the lie that baby Archie was almost killed where they were. That was a lie too." Kelly called the Sussexes dishonest when reacting to the paparazzi photos that appeared in the trailer. She said, "I realize that Netflix or the director would have put together the trailer, but Meghan and Harry approved it," insinuating that they would have seen those pictures beforehand and understood that they were being misused. According to Kelly, Meghan picks a very specific incident or event and aggrandizes it to make herself either look like the victim or look like she's way more adored than she actually is. The presenter then brought up several photos used in the series that showed the Duchess crying and said, "I have never taken a photo of myself crying and certainly never released it to the public saying, 'Please feel sorry for me.' They want people to feel sorry for them, which is the most unattractive piece of this couple." So clearly she doesn't believe Meghan and Harry when they spoke about the turmoil they went through before leaving the royal family. Number 4, Holly Willoughby. Speaking about the Sussexes on This Morning Today show, Holly disagreed with Meghan's claim that the royal family is overly formal towards one another, even behind closed doors. She said, "To suggest somebody is a bit cold is a really horrible thing to try and brush away. We don't know Kate, but from what we see of her, the way somebody is with their own children, I think you get a pretty good idea." What she was reacting to was the way that Meghan said that she wore ripped jeans and was barefoot when Prince William and Kate came over for dinner, and how surprised she was by their formalities, because she called herself a hugger. To which Holly said, "I think suggesting that anyone within the royal family isn't a hugger, I don't believe that. We saw in the footage of Prince Charles talking to the kids, being normal. Just because you're posh doesn't mean you can't hug someone. It's crazy." Although she did make it clear that she understood where Harry and Meghan were coming from when they spoke about their desire to have a private life. She said, "What I got from the documentary was that their private life was stepping away from royal duty, but it's not private in the way that we see it, and maybe that's where the confusion comes from. It's the first time I understood, oh, that's what you mean by a private life. It's the opposite of public royal duties." So perhaps Harry and Meghan simply wanted freedom and not necessarily what we would consider privacy. Number 3, Gemma Collins. The reality star said, "I've got to be honest, I really like Meghan and Harry. The only thing I would say is that they do need to be loyal to the family. They shouldn't be airing any sort of dirty laundry in public." In the new clip of Harry and Meghan, the couple makes shocking claims against Prince William, alleging that palace officials were happy to lie to protect his brother, but were never willing to tell the truth to protect him and Meghan. Harry also claimed that the couple faced institutional gaslighting gaslighting from the family. Aside from these allegations, Gemma took issue with one particular comment that Meghan made in her interview with Oprah Winfrey last year. She simply did not like the fact that she referred to the family as the firm and said, "I thought that was a bit near the mark. Well, to be honest, I thought, Jesus, you've got some balls. That's the only bit I didn't like, I've got to be honest." But Gemma did acknowledge that the public only get told certain information and might not get to see the whole picture because of the way the documentary was edited together. To sum it up, she said, "Look, I think she's made her mistake and she should have never called the family the firm. But Harry looks happy, and is everyone going to be tuning in to watch it? Yes. And I just think they're not in the royal family now, let them get on with it." Number 2, Dan Wootton. The GB News presenter did not mince words when he tweeted, "For a couple who claim they care about their privacy, in less than half an hour, Harry and Meghan have already shared with the world their private text messages, private photos from their dates, private video diaries, and private clips of their son." He also pointed out the hypocrisy that Harry was using clips of Princess Diana's infamous Panorama interview that William himself has tried so hard to get banned. Dan was especially critical about the moment that Harry said, "Meghan sacrificed everything she ever knew to join me in my world, and then pretty soon after that, I ended up sacrificing everything that I know to join her in her world." Dan said this statement made it sound as though Meghan and Harry had both joined some kind of cult and cut out any family members who challenged them or anyone who disagreed with them. This was one of the most telling quotes of the docuseries, because Harry clearly believes that both he and Meghan gave up certain things to be with each other. She gave up freedom and the ability to live her life how she wanted, and then obviously he ended up giving up his royal duties and separated from his family. Later on, he also brought up the situation with her father Thomas and said, "Of course, it's incredibly sad what happened. She had a father before all of this, and now she doesn't have a father, and I shouldered that, because if Meg wasn't with me, then her dad would still be her dad." And coming in at number 1, Kirstie Allsopp. The Channel 4 presenter tweeted, "It's totally okay to leave the family firm, but don't try and crash the share price after you've left. H&M wanted to have their cake and eat it too, and that's not how it works. If you want to be royal, work for it. If you don't, you're welcome to be like the rest of us." Allsopp even compared the couple's Netflix venture to an X-rated movie that one might put out there for revenge, implying that they chose to air their grievances with the palace in the most public way possible in order to inflict the most damage. Funnily enough, this wasn't even the first time that she questioned their motives. Back in September, the presenter addressed the public's perception of Meghan and Harry's return to the UK, as they were honoring the late Queen Elizabeth II. After they joined William and Kate in a rare reunion, Allsopp took the opportunity to respond to the headlines from the event. She pointed out that the couple's treatment of the Queen had been a cause of serious concern for some sections of the British public, and that's why they were not very well liked in the UK. And it seems like Meghan has once again been accused of disrespecting the Queen. In a video clip from the second episode, she was seen laughing uncontrollably as she described how Harry introduced her to his late grandmother. When she curtsied dramatically, many people felt that she was mocking Harry's family traditions and cultural beliefs. So it's no wonder that clip drew a huge amount of controversy. But what do you think about all the celebrity reactions? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next video.